It was a warm, sunny Sunday afternoon, perfect for boating on the lake. Roscoe had packed a basket with some cress sandwiches, pieces of Battenberg cake, a handful of hazelnuts, and 2 bottles of elderflower cordial. Lovely. He was wending his way down the path with his good friend Floyd. As they moseyed along, the sun was glinting through the soft green leaves, and white wisps of dandelion seeds sailed through the air on the warm and welcome breeze. The birds were singing merrily above, and the hedgerows were brimming with blackberries. "We'll pick some on the way back, Floyd. Raider biscuits can make us some jam." "That's a good idea," said Floyd. "We can put them in my knapsack." Up ahead they could see their boat, bobbing on the gentle waves. The water was lapping the shore, softly splashing as it rolled over the smooth, rounded stones. The boat was tied to the wooden pier with a sturdy, thick rope. "Let's put our things in the boat first, Floyd, then we can get in. Once we're in and comfy, sitting on our cushions, I'll untie the boat and off we go." And that's just what they did. The bunnies were very good sailors and had no trouble getting in and setting off. There was just enough breeze to carry them away from the shore. "We'll take it in turns rowing, Floyd. Do you want to start or shall I?" "You can row first, Roscoe. I'd like to sit and look at the view." And what a view there was! The blue water was lapping around the boat. Pillowy clouds were reflected on the rippling surface, and the reeds near the shore were swaying in the breeze. Every so often, the silvery glimmer of a rainbow trout would appear under the surface of the water near the boat. Roscoe said, "Floyd, have you seen Mr. Trout swimming about? I think he's wondering what we're a-doing of out here in our boat. Do you think he'd like a cress sandwich?" "I'm not sure about that. See if he'd like a few crumbs of Battenberg." And sure enough, the few crumbs Roscoe sprinkled on the water were gone in a thrice, in very pleased, smiley, fishy lips. Roscoe pulled in the oars of the boat, and the bunnies drifted peacefully toward the shore on the other side of the lake. Before long, the boat landed with a soft bump on the sandy shore. Roscoe climbed out and tied the boat to a nearby tree. "This is the perfect spot for something to nibble on. My tumblins are rumbling, ready for our sambos." The bunnies laid a blanket on the soft grass and unpacked their basket. The cress sandwiches were a delight, crusty fresh bread and tender garden cress. There was still room in their tumblingtons for a piece of Battenberg, and they sat quietly on the blanket, savouring every bite. When they had finished their afternoon treats, the bunnies laid back with a friendship ear to snuggle, and took in all their surroundings. Crickets were chirping in the meadow nearby, and the birds replied with their tinkling songs. The breeze whispered the leaves to sway, mingling with the bubble and tumble of a woodland stream. The sun had begun to dip, and it was time to make their way home. Back in the boat, the bunnies shared the rowing. Bobbing their way gently to the shore, they sipped their elderflower cordial through their curly straws. Lovely. Once the boat had softly nudged the pier, Roscoe tied it securely and helped Floyd out onto the smooth weathered boards. As the sun was dipping lower, just as the day was easing, the bunnies wended their way back up the path to their little cottage. While they ambled along, chatting about which soup was for dinner, they picked some blackberries from the hedgerows they passed. Before long they rounded the last bend near home. They had filled Floyd's knapsack with enough berries to make a lovely pot of jam. Raider biscuits will be pleased. Once inside, the bunnies washed their paws and settled down for the night, holding a friendship ear close by. Night-night.